Hello, I'm Jackeline Velez. I'm the Senior Account Manager for Xero in Houston.
I'm Jose Zavala, owner of ZTX Advisors here in Houston, Texas. What?
It is April 16th. This isn't a watch, but I'm just going to pretend like it is.
and mine's dead, but you got to take our word for it, I promise.
Yeah, it's April 16th, and yesterday was a big day for accountants like yourself, right? And so I know that I work exclusively with accountants and CPAs, so I know that tax season is a big deal. I know that you guys get bogged down with work. It's a big time of the year, and congratulations for making it through it. How does Xero help you with tax season? That's a question that I get a lot of times, because Xero is a GL system, pretty much. It's an accounting system that is on the cloud. But what does that mean for tax season? How can it help you if you're doing taxes? So number one, Xero can help you be more efficient for tax season. So there'll be less time doing data entry. You'll be able to take on more clients. Then the second point is perhaps you can start going into different revenue streams. You can start doing accounting, bookkeeping, reporting, compilation reports. You can start doing advisory, virtual CFO. You know all about this. We could talk about this for an hour if we wanted to. Then an audit trail, right? If the good old IRS comes back, you can have a document that's each transaction to be backed up by a document. And then you can also, speaking of documents, you can actually communicate and get documents from your client a lot faster. So some of the features that I know that you use, I know some of the accountants that I work with have really split their staff in half from getting rid of using stuff like HubDoc, using our bank feeds, which will give you real-time bank information feeding into Xero, cash coding, which I know you're itching to talk about, right?
Yeah.
I also want to mention Xero HQ Ask. I don't know if you've used this for client questionnaires or if you have a client questionnaire. Yeah, we've got to use that. We've got to work on that. But HQ Ask will actually, it's within Xero, it's in the partner program, it's essentially free. You can go through and ask your clients for documents, and it's a secure portal that will actually be sent straight into Xero. And then you can also, if you need check images or if you need bank statements and your client doesn't have a bank feed set up, you can actually use HubDoc, which is a company that we acquired recently. And if you have a lot of clients that are self-employed in the gig economy, Schedule C clients, we have a unique product called Xero Plus C that actually has a specific report that actually spits out the buckets that you have on a Schedule C form that'll actually automate some of that for you so that you don't have to get a box of receipts or a stack of bank statements at the end of the year. It'll also save your clients some time, because clients, I know that they'll spend 2 or 3 days trying to get receipts that are faded to get ready to come see their accountant, and it's a lot of stress that can be taken away from you and them. So be more efficient, make more money, have an audit trail, get documents faster. That's really in a nutshell how we can help you this tax season. And at the end of the day, you won't have an ugly surprise. I know there's a lot of changes in the tax law, so if you're able to be on top of it and do a little bit of tax planning, that'll help you out. But I'll let you talk. I don't know if you want to talk about cash coding or anything else.
No, so you know, me as the user of the product, I'm a big advocate of it because of the time I've been able to save. And a lot of that is the cash coding feature. I mean, I love it. I love it.
So cash coding lets you code many transactions very quickly. I've seen partners, accountants go from 14 hours to 4 hours for reconciling transactions.
Yeah, no, we had a big project, and you know, for you guys, check out my blog post on my website. I can actually talk about it. We had an ungodly amount of transactions, and it took us a couple of days to do it, manually entering everything into QuickBooks Desktop. And what we did is we turned around, used a couple outside apps, got the stuff, imported it in, set up bank rules and everything. We were able to get it done in about, if I remember correctly, 45 minutes.
Nice. Yeah, high five.
So, yeah.
That's awesome.
And so this year the bank rules are set up and everything. So it was just a seamless process of just making sure everything was right, take all the transactions and go.
What is it? How did you use bank rules? What is that? I know what it means.
Bank rules, essentially, you go in and in a transaction, you can set a rule to where it goes, what account it goes to. So if you have a transaction that comes in that Facebook ads, whatever, you can specify it to where it'll read just that Facebook portion of it, and every time that transaction comes in from the bank, it'll apply that rule, and you can send it to marketing or to advertising, so wherever it is.
Codeless accounting.
Yeah, so you don't have to worry about it. All you have to do is all you do is just hit OK, that you make sure it's right, and you're good to go. With the cash coding feature, though, You line up, let's say you've got 1 million of them, because I know those charge you every $2. You line them all up, make sure they're all going to the right account, and you can mass code those transactions like that without having to actually input and accept every single one, which has been a huge time saver for us. So that's how I use it, especially with the Schedule C clients. And we've been able to move into, we show them the report, they're like, oh, what is that? That looks nice. Now that moves us into maybe some light bookkeeping, some bookkeeping support, and then also transitions us into planning, like, hey, you owe this much in tax because you didn't do any tax planning. Let's talk. Let's get these numbers set up and everything, and boom, there you go. There's 2 new revenue streams you got.
I love that. You're an opportunist just like me.
So, and it works for the clients too, because they get to budget their money.
Yeah.
They're going to know how much they're going to owe, and they can plan their year out a lot better.
Yeah, and your client isn't paying you for the time that you're entering transactions. They really don't care how much time it takes you. They care about how much money you can save them, how you can help them be more profitable, and give them advice. And so at the end of the day, if you're spending your time doing data entry, you're really doing non-value added work. So you want to go into doing those opportunities of, let's do tax planning, let's start giving you a quarterly, monthly report, let's start doing some analytics. Like, that's why we became accountants, right? To do that fun stuff, not to import a bank statement and code them manually. That's not what we do.
And I just want to say, as well, internally, staff retention. You move them away from the data entry and the coding to a lot more. You can actually focus them on more value-driven work, which makes them happier, more productive, and gets them like, oh man, I like this, because nobody wants to do data entry. And if you like it, man, I respect you 100%. I don't. And so, but that's something that really helps, because then you get them on more valuable projects. They're happier, they're willing to stay, and maybe not jump ship to the next company that's going to say, oh, hey, I'll pay you this much more. It's like, yeah, but this person is giving me this value that I feel good about. And so that's a big thing for me, has been staff retention.
Yeah,
and making
as millennials, we're always looking for the best thing. We want to be on the right technology. We want to do meaningful work.
Exactly.
We want to do work that makes us feel fulfilled, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this gives you that opportunity, so you can actually make sure they're actually doing the work, move them into the more of a just overview role, and the planning role, and the analytics and things like that. And so and you're working on the cloud. So right off the bat, if they want to work from home, if you want to offer that remote work space, that flexible work, you can, because now at least that system is on the cloud, and all they need to do is just open up their laptop, log in, and they're good to go.
Yep, and that's where the industry is going. This is already happening. This is not, it's like in the near future, the future. Like, this is now. Which, by the way, that's the name of our roadshow May 9th. I'm going to have to plug it. It's called The Future Is Now. We're going to be talking about a lot of these things. I did want to ask you, how was your deadline? How was April 15th for you? I was afraid to reach out to you because I thought, well, he's going to be really busy. And you were just hanging out at 3 o'clock with a cigar.
Yeah, so I was done actually at 2. At 2 o'clock. I went home and actually got on a Facebook Live with 2 CPAs and a CPA marketer. Kind of a side project we're doing. We'll talk about that later. JX4, by the way. And but yeah, I was done. We were live, and
X4.
And by 5 o'clock, I had a drink in my hand in my backyard. It was like 80 degrees yesterday,
such a beautiful
75
day.
degrees.
It was the best
I
day.
sat and put my feet up and just went on this live, and we talked. We all virtually smoked cigars, which again is these guys I've never met before in my life, but we're friends. And
you know them because
It's just through social media, through all the and so it's just, again, this is where the industry is moving. The future to this. I was able to. My staff works virtually. 100%. And our program kind of not our program. My company gives the ability to empower stay-at-home moms. So Morgan's a stay-at-home mom, but that's neither here nor there. It's just the deadline was awesome. I digress a little bit. So it was great. 3 o'clock, I was done, and I was sitting there, like I said, in front of the camera, smoking a cigar for everybody to see. So
if that's what you want your tax season to look like, or if anything else that we talked about spiked your interest, which I'm sure it did, we're happy to answer your questions. This is Jose with Z-Tex Advisors. I'm with Xero. You can go to our Xero community page. You go to Z-Tex page. We'll give you links. You can also DM us with any questions. But congratulations on getting through tax season.
Thank you.
And thank you for chatting with me.
Yeah, no, thank you for having me, guys. Y'all have a wonderful day.